As you play the game, there will come a time where suddenly all of the enemies are too tanky, they one-shot you, or you can't finish this quest because the enemies are way too hard for you to handle. Well, probably because you didn't build your characters right. Let me show you how. There are 4 things to remember when building your character. These are your character levels, weapons, talents, and lastly, artifacts. Well, team comp also plays a factor, but we'll deal with that next time. Now first, your character levels. Always make sure that the character you are using is at max level. Your max level is capped by your current adventure rank. For now, the max level is 20, but when you reach adventure rank 15, then you can ascend the character and level it up to 40. Now when you reach AR 25, you can ascend and level the character up to 50, and it goes on until level 90, which is the highest level. To level up characters, simply feed them with EXP books, which can be gained through quests or these EXP Blue Cloud ley lines where it spawns enemies. And after defeating them, go to this flower thingy to collect your rewards, which will cost resin. Side note, this is your resin. You will get one every 8 minutes and is capped at 200, so try to use it always. And side note, don't use the fragile resins you collected until you are AR 45. To ascend a character, you need to gather the materials required. This can either be flowers or random things found in your world, and mini boss drops which can be obtained after defeating mini bosses located in specific areas of the map. After gathering all materials, simply click ascend, which will increase the level cap. Once you have reached their character level cap, then it's time to move on to their weapons. Weapons are similar to characters. Simply level them up, then use weapon materials to ascend them. To get weapon materials, you can farm them in domains, which is scheduled, but during Sundays, everything is available. To enter a domain, simply open your map and click on this diamond with a big circle in it, and click teleport. Once it loads, simply go near the door and interact with it, just like this. Take note that all domains are locked and sometimes you have to solve puzzles just to unlock them. But most of the time, you can simply go near them and activate them to unlock them. After selecting your team, you are now going to be faced with a challenge with defeating enemies with a specific set of time. But after you defeat your enemies, simply go to the tree to collect your reward, just like this. Take note that collecting rewards will also cost you resin. And after a short cutscene, it should give you rewards just like this. So you have the option to continue running the domain or you can leave the domain to farm other materials. Leveling up your weapon increases their main stat but not their passive effect. Each weapon has its own base attack and main stat, which in this case is the crit rate. And this long description here is its passive. Now if you level up a weapon, its base attack and its main stat will increase. For example, its crit rate went from 6% to 10.6%. The same goes for the base attack. To increase the passive effect, you can refine your weapons, but you can only do this up to 5 times. To do so, simply open the Enhance section and click Refine. Tap or click on any of these plus buttons and select the similar weapon. And with each refinement, the weapon passive will increase accordingly. You may notice that a 4-star weapon have this padlock in them. This is to prevent players from accidentally feeding the weapon, especially 5-star weapons. But you can still use and level up the weapon. But if you want to refine a 4 or 5-star weapon, simply tap the padlock to unlock it and refine accordingly. Don't forget to lock it back so you won't accidentally feed it to your other weapons. 1-star weapons are the worst since they have the lowest base stats and have no passive. They are mainly used to level up other weapons. At most, you have 10 free wishes, so use them immediately at the beginner's banner and you will get a free character as well as many 3-star weapons which your characters can use. 4-star weapons can be acquired through crafting at the nearest blacksmith or gacha by wishing or pulling on a banner, but finishing the early quests gives you a free 4-star weapon. Now let's proceed to the talents. After you ascend your character to level 40 above, you can begin to upgrade your talents using talent books and materials you can gather usually dropped by enemies. Take note that the talent levels are also capped by the character levels, so if you have reached your max talent for the current level, then that is enough. Talent books can be farmed in domains depending on their schedule, but on Sundays, everything is open and you can farm whatever talent books you want. Generally, people usually level up different talent books for different characters. You only need to max level at least one talent, and a second talent you want to level up to at least level 6 or 7, and a third talent can be left at level 1. To know which talent you want to upgrade, simply click or tap this talent preference upgrade. First priority should be the one you max out first, and second priority is, well, second. And the third priority can be left at level 1, or if you have extra resources, you can upgrade them. Now, for artifacts. Your character can wear up to 5 artifacts, namely the flower, feather, sands, goblet, and circlet. They have their main stats and a substat. Every artifact has a set name, and equipping artifacts belonging to the same set will give you 2-piece or 4-piece effects. Example, if I equip my character with Wanderer's Stroke Flower, this number 1 here shows how many pieces of the same set the character is currently equipped with. Next, Wanderer's Feather, Wanderer's Sands, and Wanderer's Goblet. Then since my character is equipped with 4 pieces of Wanderer's Rope, then my character can activate the 4-piece effect. Now, the 5th artifact doesn't really need to be in the same set since the artifact effects is only limited to 4 pieces. Now, this 5th artifact is called an off-piece. Any piece can be an off-piece. It usually depends on the main stat, but you can also mix and match artifacts to different sets of artifacts to gain their respective 2-piece effects. The flower will always be flat HP. The feather will always be flat attack. The remaining artifacts are where percent-based stats begin to show. Common main stats which can be found on the sands, goblet, and circlet are HP percent, attack percent, def percent, and elemental mastery. But the main stat called energy recharge is unique and can only be found in sand pieces. Next are the elemental damage bonus main stats, which are electro, pyro, anemo, cryo, geo, dendro, and physical damage bonus, which are unique and can only be found in the goblet pieces. Lastly, the main stats crit rate, crit damage, and healing bonus are unique and can only be found in the circlet pieces. To know which artifact set or main stat your character may want, simply open the artifact section, click on set filter, and the one with the thumbs up is the set that most people use on that character. To know which main stat you want, simply go to any artifact and click on recommended affixes, which should show which main stat people equip on that character. Now for beginners, you generally can't access the 5 stars artifact yet, as this can only be obtained when you reach AR 45, so for now, your focus should be getting the main stats right, and if you can try to get 2-piece or 4-piece effects. And that's how you generally build your character. In our next video, we will talk about team compositions and elemental reactions. Subscribe for more. See you and out.